Hi, my own name is Declan Dorr from Limerick, Ireland, and I'd like to welcome you here to the Kangen house here in Limerick, Ireland. And what we're going to do here for you today is show you a demonstration on how this water technology operates, the Kangen Water SD501. So what I'm going to demonstrate here for you is the 7 different types of water, and how, as I do the demonstration, I explain to you a few different water therapies, and in particular how it helped to reduce all the waste which I had going around my belly and around my chin and my cheeks, and also how for my skull, for anyone here who's viewing this, for anyone who has arthritis, who's got inflammation around the joints, I'll show you exactly how that the 11.5 water works for those elements. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you exactly one of the different types of properties, the water properties, which is called an antioxidant. And I was very familiar with antioxidants, and when I heard what this water could do from an antioxidant point of view, that really got my interest. So I'm going to show you here with a little device called an ORP meter. It's called a pinpoint ORP meter. And this pinpoint ORP meter, what this measures is, it stands for ORP, oxidation reduction potential. And basically, when the reading comes in at a plus reading, that means it's oxidizing the body. So it's basically aging the body within. So we're going to see if any of these popular drinks here in Ireland are actually oxidizing the body, which is like, you know, rusting the body within, which we can't see, or is it working as an antioxidant? And as you're probably well aware of, antioxidants are a major thing at the moment. You see them in green tea, olive, cod liver oil. There's so many different properties out there when it comes to antioxidants. So I was very aware of that. So I'm going to show you here, is the belly gown, the deep river rock, the Powerade, are they antioxidants or are they oxidizing the body? Now if it comes in at a minus reading, that means it's an antioxidant. If it comes in at a plus reading, that means it's oxidizing the body, it's aging the body. Now with this simple meter here, a pinpoint ORP meter, I'm going to test all the different waters and show you the reading which will come out of each one of the waters. Firstly, I'm going to test the belly gown. Now the belly gown is actually just produced about 15 miles from my home up in Newcastle West. And we're going to test this here, and we're going to see exactly what the belly gown reading comes in at. Now an interesting one is the deep river rock. For anyone here who drinks deep river rock, pick up a bottle of deep river rock, turn the bottle around and look at the label and see where it's been bottled. It's been bottled by Coca-Cola. So that might make you think. So this is sparkling. Oh, this is what mostly happens or normally happens with the sparkling water. So we'll just test this here now. Now the Powerade is a very popular drink here for sports athletes, and it was promoted a lot over here in the Olympics in London. And quite a number of athletes are promoting Powerade. But you've got to ask yourself a question: are they really drinking this? Here we have the Lucozade. I used to drink a lot of Lucozade when I was playing with Limerick, and I used to eat a lot of Jaffa cakes as well too, to give you that sugar rush. Now here we have the Volvic touch of strawberry flavour. Now you'd imagine this would be really healthy and good for you because of the strawberries. So we're going to test this and see what this water comes in at, what this mineral comes in at. And now here we have next is a very popular drink that's starting to come over here to Europe. It's called the Perliciano. I probably got that wrong, that pronouncement wrong. I'm not a drinker of this, but a lot of people would probably be very familiar of this drink. So we're going to test this as well, and we'll see exactly what this comes in at. And the next drink is the Kangen Water 9.5. Now this has just been poured out of one of our units here at the back, and it's 9.5 pH Kangen water. So we're going to see what reading this will also come in at. Now what we have here is, at the back, we've got clean water, which has come out of the Kangen ST501. And each time we do a test on the water, I'm going to clean it with the clean water. So we'll start off firstly, this is city water, council water from Limerick City. So we're going to see what reading this actually comes in here at. And as you can see, this is rising and rising and rising. And the reason this is rising is because of all the chlorine and contaminants that's put into the water. And as you can see, that just keeps rising and rising. And it normally goes to over 400 or 500, all depending on how much chlorine and contaminants has been added to the water. Now here we have the Ballygown water. So we'll see what the Ballygown comes in at. It's slowly coming down, but what Ballygown comes in at normally is around the 250 mark. So that's a plus reading. As you can see, plus reading. So a plus reading means it's oxidizing the body. Now here we have the sparkling water, the Deep River Rock. So we'll see here what this comes in at. As you can see, that's rising here at 345. Here we have the Powerade. The Powerade now, as you can see, is rising. It's nearly at 400. Here we have the Lucozade. This upsets me now, knowing what I know. As you can see, that's at the reading there. That normally comes in around the 250, 300 mark also. The Lucozade upsets me because of the background I had with sport. Knowing now what this is actually doing to athletes. Athletes these days, if you look at them, they're bigger, faster and stronger, but they're getting injured more frequently. You'll see here before we finish this demonstration why that is. Here we have the Volvic Touch of Strawberry. As you can see, the Volvic Touch of Strawberry is rising. That sometimes goes over 400. It varies between 350 and 400, plus 350, 400. Here we have the Perlicano, probably pronouncing that wrong, but you can see here that's just rising here as well. And that's all oxidizing. These are all coming in at a plus reading, so you can imagine what that's doing inside the body. This is why antioxidants are on the rise, and so many people are being told by nutritionists and requested by nutritionists to actually consume more antioxidants. Now here we have the Kangen water. Now this is at a pH of 9.5, and as you can see, it's just rising and rising here. As you can see, 500. That's a minus 530. You can see it just keeps rising, minus 500. All depending on your source water. So as you can see here by this demonstration, the antioxidant properties of the Kangen water is pretty remarkable. And I just love drinking this water, and people, when they drink this water, the results they get from consuming Kangen water is just mind-boggling. And I see it now for the last nearly over 3 years with people drinking this water. The results is amazing, and this is the power of the antioxidant value of Kangen water. And as you can see here, unfortunately, with all these minerals we're consuming on a daily basis, I think you can really see exactly why, you know, from an antioxidant point of view, you've got the Kangen water, and just drink the Kangen water and you'll get loads of antioxidants. Now I'd like to share with you the pH of the water. We're going to show the different pH levels. For anyone who's aware of pH, it stands for potential of hydrogen. So each one of these waters we're going to test with a pH drop, which they test with the pools with. And we're going to see if this is acid or alkaline. Now I was very familiar with the acid-alkaline diet, and it's starting to really come over here to the Western world. In particular, it's very, very popular over in the Eastern world. And I've been very fortunate to be over in Japan twice, and I'm going over there now again this year. And their diet, their mindset, and most importantly, they have the highest consumption in the world of the alkaline ionized water. Now, this little chart here is going to show you whether it's acid or alkaline, the minerals we're consuming. Now, a lot of people are aware of the alkaline diet, And most people are trying to go that route now at the moment. And I tried to go that route as I was recovering my own health, because the nutritionists I was dealing with were saying, Declan, you need to get your body into an alkaline condition, because I was extremely acidic from all the medication. And I was trying to eat healthy, but then when my nutritionist said, Declan, you need to get on an alkaline diet. And I said, please explain to me the alkaline diet. What do I need to do? And an alkaline diet, you need to be eating the greens, you need to be juicing. And I found that it was pretty difficult at the start, because I craved sugar, I craved sweets. I was trying to get away from all that. But as you see here now, with this demonstration, you're going to see whether the minerals we're consuming are either alkaline or acidic. So with this simple pH drop, I'm just going to drop it in here for you and show you exactly which pH level this is. So firstly here we have the city water, the council water here from Limerick. Now this is very interesting when you see the colour this water goes. So we'll just drop in a few here into each one. As you can see here already, some of the drinks are starting to change colour. We'll just go back again into a few of them. The more drops you can put in, the more colours you can see. Now let's look at the first one here. This is the council water here in Limerick City. And as you can see here, the council water, the city water, and all waters around Ireland have a pH of 7. As you can see here, the pH is 7. The reason it must be a pH of 7 is because of the chlorine, the contaminants, and all the stuff that's put into the water to actually make it a pH of 7. Now, what happens is, if you have a reverse osmosis unit at home, what that does is it strips out all the minerals, the chlorine, the contaminants that's in the water, and it strips it right out. And any water I've tested all over Ireland, or all over Europe, you can see it's very acidic. It's extremely acidic because it strips it all the way back. So unfortunately, tap water, as you can see, you're probably very aware of anyway, has got all the contaminants and chlorine and other ingredients in the water that's not good for the body. Now the next one is the Ballygown water. And when I started to realise and research the bottled water industry, it was actually interesting. Richard Branson last week or 2 weeks ago came out with a video and started talking about we need to reduce the plastic and bottled water industry and remove the plastic bottles. Now as you can see here, the bottled water is a pH of 7. But if you understood the way the bottled water actually operates and how it's being produced, you should just research it for your own health and your family's health. Now here we have the sparkling deep river rock. Now, as you can see here, this is really acidic, extremely acidic. So can you imagine what this is actually doing to your body when you're consuming this mineral? Now we can't do a pH drop for obvious reasons with the Powerade or the Lucozade, but I think you're pretty aware they are extremely acidic. Now what upsets me is knowing now what this water is doing. Unfortunately, what this is, kids, autism, ADD, Asperger's, all these conditions are on the rise. And since I started doing this now over 3 years ago, I've seen so many families suffering with these conditions with their children. And a lot of families I've met are giving this to their kids because it's easy for them to drink. And look how acidic this is to the body. Now here we have, hopefully I'll get it right this time, the Perlicano. And you can see here, this is extremely acidic. And a lot of people are drinking this also. Now here we have the Kangen water. And this has really amazed me when I saw this first, when I went over to look at this technology, when I saw the alkaline properties of the water. Now, being an extreme skeptic, because when I was recovering my own health, I had so many people coming to me trying to help me out. And when I started to research the water industry, I started to realise that it's very easy to make alkaline water. You just add bread soda. But when I started to realise that the Kangen water was an antioxidant, it's alkaline, and the next one, which is my favourite, the microclustering properties, that's when I got really excited. But as you can see here, the Kangen water comes in extremely alkaline and very purple. What really fascinated me when I saw this demonstration also was the next demonstration I'm going to show you, which is what happens when people actually consume these minerals and put it into the body. So if you can picture your body being in an alkaline condition, it's extremely hard to get the body alkaline firstly, but if you're drinking loads of Kangen water and you're eating an alkaline diet, watch what happens when you actually put the Volvic touch of strawberry flavour into your body, or any of these minerals, as you'll see here. I don't know if you've ever drank a cap of Volvic touch of strawberry, but watch what happens when you put a cap of this into your body. So picture this being your body, and look what happens. That really, really frightened me when I saw this, because I realized, oh my God, you know, I was drinking the Volvics, I was drinking the sparkling waters, I was drinking all these minerals, in particular the Lucozade, just to give me that sugar rush, give me that extra bit of energy which I was looking for. And look how acidic this goes. Now, an interesting thing here is, when you see the Kangen water, it takes at least 15 to 16 glasses of Kangen water to actually bring that back. I love doing demonstrations in people's homes, because when I have my unit plugged into their actual own sink and their own tap, it's fascinating because I show them, put it straight underneath the unit, and you can literally see this starting to try and change colour. And all of a sudden it takes at least 15 glasses to bring this back into an alkaline condition. Now I'll share with you here, you can see here just by trying the Kangen water. You can just see here, as you actually start to move it around, it starts to go back. Now I'm going to try this here on this drink here, and look what happens. Here we have the Volvic. Extremely difficult to bring it back into an alkaline condition. And here we have the Deep River Rock sparkling water. And look here, as it's trying to come back, look what happens. And here we have the Ballygowan water. As you can see, it's starting to bring the body back. So Kangen water, which is very interesting here with a pint glass. I'm going to show you something very interesting with the pint. Now here we'll get one more cap, and just show you exactly here with a pint glass, exactly what happens inside the body on a bigger scale, just with a cap. Brings it back completely acidic. Now another bit of Kangen water. As you can see, it's trying its best to come back there, and it's still slowly going back. And again, just another cap. It's pretty frightening when you actually see with just 2-3 caps of this mineral what it's actually doing inside the body. And at demonstrations, I love to show this to people, in particular in their homes, because they can see with their own 2 eyes that it's from their tap water what's actually happening when it goes through the water technology, and how it actually comes out of the unit itself and produces this amazing alkaline water. Now I'm going to show you the next property, which is the property I'm very excited to share with people every time I do a demonstration. It's called the microclustering properties of the Kangen water. And this is quite remarkable when you actually see what this does to a very famous green tea over here in Ireland, and here in Ireland, which is called Barry's Natural Green Tea. And as you can see here, our natural green tea is rich in antioxidants with a fresh, delicate taste. So again, antioxidants, which we covered earlier on, you can see even green tea, all these things are being promoted. Most products now are being promoted as antioxidants. So the microclustering properties is pretty remarkable, because this is why I have lost so much weight and finally returned to my proper weight, which I was a number of years ago. And what I'm going to show you here is, with the Barry's green tea, the microclustering properties of this water. Now here we have the Kangen 9.5, and as you will see here, just by simply putting it in here to this glass, you'll be able to see here the microclustering properties and how it penetrates the tea bag. So if you can picture this going into your body and how it's actually able to deliver straight into the cells. Now here we have the tap water, and we're just going to show here what the tap water does. And as you can see here with the tap water, we'll just give these a little stir. And you can see here already what's starting to happen to water. This really blew my mind away when I saw this, because I realized, wow, finally I've got a delivery mechanism to bring the nutrients straight into my cells. And this isn't any magic trick, because watch what happens when I take this out and put it into a clear glass with more tap water. You'll see here. And here we have with the Kangen water. You'll see exactly what this does with the Kangen water. This really fascinated me when I saw this. And when I show this to my friends and family, when I do demonstrations all over Ireland and all over Europe, and I'm particularly in the UK, Scotland a lot now at the moment, when people see this, you could make up to 15 cups of tea with the Kangen water, with a tea bag, and you can just drip it and put it into different glasses, and you'll actually see this happening every time. And as you will see here with this, with the Kangen water, you'll see exactly what happens when you put in Kangen water. Now you've got green tea just by simply applying the Kangen water. So if you can imagine this going into your body, when I first consumed Kangen water and I started to drink it, when I went over to look at this technology, I noticed straight away when I started to drink Kangen water, it didn't sit in my belly like it used to when I used to drink water. I used to hate drinking water, even though when I was going back for results and the doctors kept saying, Declan, you need to drink more water, you're dehydrated. And I used to come home and I used to drink more water, and I felt bloated, I felt lethargic, even drinking water. And I even had, it was like a water belly. You know, if you ever notice when you drink water, you can feel it in the belly squishing and squashing around. When I started drinking Kangen water, I was amazed, because I drank 1 pint, then I drank another pint, and I was like, where's this water gone? And then as the doctors were explaining to me when I went over to look at this, how when you actually start to consume this water, it goes straight into the cells and starts to hydrate the system and hydrate the body, which for me was a big thing. Because when I'd suffered my brain injury and I'd suffered from fracturing my skull, it was a traumatic accident which I had on my brain. And the minute I started to consume Kangen water, I actually could feel it going up into my brain, and the clarity I started to experience was amazing. And I'd been looking to get my health back for 8 years, and I was just amazed when I started to drink the Kangen water. And I think you can see why when people start to drink this, especially any athlete that's looking at this, it is amazing what happens when you start to consume Kangen water, because it's able to get in there and flush out the lactic acid, and it's able to, you know, you can literally feel it. All you need to do is just drink this water, and you know, I expect you to be skeptical. I was skeptical, but once you drink the Kangen water, your skepticism just goes straight over your head, and you just start to realize why people who are, you know, talking about Kangen water, why they're so excited about this water, because it works. Full stop, it works. This is one of the waters I'm extremely passionate about. It's called 11.5 pH alkaline Kangen water. And the reason I'm so grateful to this water is because this was the water, when I went over to look at the company, was explained to me in great detail because of the fracture to the base of my skull. And I met a lady called Dr. Corinne Allen, and she started to explain to me about how she was using this particular water in her brain center in America. And I was fascinated by when she started to explain to me how to actually use the water on the external part of the body, but for me it was my skull. And what I'm going to share with you here again is the microclustering properties which we explained on the tea bags. As you can see with the tea bags, how it was able to penetrate into the tea bag, and how the regular water, tap water, bottled water is unable to do that, because if you can picture 15 to 20 golf balls as molecules of water, and when you consume the water, you can feel it literally in your belly, as I was explaining about the water belly. So what's happening is, when you're consuming that water, or if you're putting it on the outside of your body, it's not able to properly penetrate and get into the cells, or penetrate into the external of the joints or the body. So with this water, the Kangen water, when it goes through the technology and it goes over the 7 platinum medical grade plates, if you can picture 7 plates stacked, and when the water goes through those plates, the water is being ionized. It's been electrically charged. So it's taken those 15 to 20 golf balls or molecules of water, and what it's doing is it's electrically charging the water, and it's breaking those water molecules down to 5 to 6 molecules. That's why when I started drinking Kangen water, it felt soft, it felt silky, it just felt really nice, and I wanted more of it. Now, with that being said, the 11.5 pH water, with the 5 to 6 molecules which you saw in the tea bag test, here we have the tomatoes. This is amazing what this water does for the cleaning properties also. And I'll get back and I'll share with you what I've done for my own therapy for my skull as I do this demonstration. Now here we have the tomatoes, and these are the beautiful Simply Better Sunstream tomatoes. And as you can see, these were fresh, and you can see the date and all on these tomatoes. They were just picked up this morning. And I'm going to take these off, and I'm just going to simply put them in here to the pint glass and show exactly what this does to the, well, they're going to show the tomatoes, but you could do this with any food. What was very interesting there, over the last few days we were doing video shoots, and it was lovely. We were above in an adolescent rehab centre where kids, you know, suffering from drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and the chef up there, she's there since it actually opened up over 15 years ago, done a full demonstration on the cooking properties of this water and how it actually benefits their kids up there, and how it actually they're craving the food and they're loving the water. And you're going to see here visually as I do this what the 11.5 pH water does to food. So as you can see, I'm just taking it off the vine, and we're going to pour the tap water, and then we're going to pour the 11.5 pH water. So this is one of the containers that they use in domestic environments for people that have restaurants, hotels, and all different businesses. This is the container they use, the black 5-litre container. It's very important for the sunlight not to get into the water also. So I'm going to show you here with this. Here is the 11.5 pH water which I just poured. And I'm going to pour it in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave it sit here for a minute. And you're going to see before and after with the 11.5 pH Kangen water. And we're going to use tap water. And we're going to pour the tap water now in here and do the demonstration with tap water. If you can visualize again and picture the 15 to 20 golf balls or molecules of water. And what we're going to do now is we're going to leave that sit here, and I'm just going to explain to you 1 or 2 therapies which I've seen in the last 3 years, and I work very closely now with a lot of therapists, and it's amazing the benefits people get by using this water on the outside of the body. Now when I went over to look at this technology, I spoke with a lady called Dr. Crean Allen, a lovely, lovely lady, and she explained to me, she said, Declan, when you invest and you own your own unit, what I'd like you to do is get a basin of this water and put a towel into the basin, and I want you to wrap it around your skull, in particular wrap it around where you fractured your skull. And I'll never forget when I done it, when I came home after years of trying everything, my mom coming in and she seen me inside my bedroom, and it was just amazing because I just felt this was going to work, but my mom came in and she started giving out and saying like, what are you doing with a towel around your head? How could water do this? And you know, she just, being a mother, you know, that's the way she was just saying things. So what I done was, I tried it, I was open to it, wrapped it for 20 minutes, took a break for an hour, done it 20 minutes later, and it was amazing what I was actually experiencing around my skull. It was as if all the pressure which was around my skull was just after being lifted off my head. And what actually happened then was just the pain. I was able to shake my head again. I'm still not able to run, but I'm back walking again. But thankfully now, you know, the pain is drastically gone from my skull. Some days I do get pain, but now if I do get any pain, I just simply use the 11.5 water around my skull and it just starts to subside. Now, what I'm going to show you here is with the regular water, what actually happens with the regular water when you're putting it in. Now, as you can see, this is what happens when you wash your vegetables, your fruits, any foods you're washing with regular tap water or council water. And when you think about it, what's added to the council water? Chlorine and contaminants. Where does that chlorine go? Unfortunately, a lot of it, and most of it, absorbs into our food. Now, as you will see here, here's the Kangen 11.5 water. Now, just by simply putting the 11.5 water into this, look at what's after happening. And I don't know if you'd like, you know, would you drink this? Unfortunately, this is what we're putting into our bodies. That's the contaminants, that's the pesticides that's actually used to keep the food fresh and alive in the supermarkets. So when you think about it, when I saw this, I realized why I struggled to get rid of my weight. Because I was trying to eat healthy, I was washing my fruits and my vegetables with this water, and this is why I struggled to lose so much weight also, because if you can imagine, where is this going in the body? So when I saw that, that really, really interested me, and how I actually applied it into my skull, you know, and any particular injuries. I used to be suffering with backaches and pains around the lower back, and all I do now is, if I ever get any aches or pains, which is very, 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 it doesn't happen to me really anymore because of so much, I'm drinking so much Kangen water. All I do is I'll apply the 11.5 to any part of my body, and I'd encourage you, if you're really skeptical, and I expect you to be skeptical, is just, if you're suffering with any inflammation, pains, aches and pains around the body, just put this water on the outside of the aches and pains in your body for at least 20 to 30 minutes, and then do it 3 or 4 times a day if possible, and just watch the difference. I've seen therapists, and we've had therapists who spoke about how by putting it onto the outside of the body as they're doing their therapies, and normally some therapies last an hour, they can literally see the inflammation reduce. So my best advice here for anyone who's suffering with external pain, 11.5 water is the best ingredient. Instead of what I used to be using was inflammatory tablets and, you know, different painkillers to actually reduce the pain I was going through. Simply just using the 11.5 pH water can, well, I know it's helped me, and you know, the only way you can find out is just simply trying it. With this demonstration, I'll share with you here what happens with the council water, the city water here, throughout Ireland, and in particular here now in Limerick. I'm just going to show you here. Here is actually tap water, and here we have your tap water, which has gone through the SD501 filtration process firstly, and which helps to remove the chlorine and other contaminants in the water. Now, here we have what's called a chlorine drops. And when you see this chlorine drop going in, I'll just put in a few drops, you'll see here the different colours between the Kangen water and the tap water, the council water here from Limerick. And what we're going to do is, you'll see here with the colour, as you can see, it's like a dirty urine colour. As you can see here now with the Kangen water, you can see crystal clear because the chlorine is after being removed. Here we have the onions, And with the onions, we're just going to put them in here simply into the tap water. And we're going to put some more onions into the Kangen water. And we'll just see exactly here what happens with the onions. As you can see, I'm not really a chef. So with the demonstration that was done by a lovely lady called Mary, she shows exactly, you can even see it in her face as she does the demonstration with the food, how excited she is about actually the water and how it actually helps with the cooking of her food. Now, as you can see here, it's starting to change colour already. Now remember, there was loads of chlorine in this water. Where's the chlorine gone now? Here's the Kangen water. Where is the chlorine gone? It's been absorbed into the onions. So when you think about it, when you're actually washing your fruits, your vegetables and your produce, where's the chlorine going? Unfortunately, it's going into our food, and then we're eating this food, and we're also putting, which you'd see here with this into our body, which is the herbicides and the pesticides, along with the chlorine. Just by simply doing this to your food, it makes such a difference for anyone here who likes to cook, for restaurant owners here. This is huge, but even for the ordinary home, like my own home at home, you can see this is making a huge difference once you use the Kangen water and most importantly, cleaning your food with the 11.5 pH Kangen water. The machine which I've just shared with you here that produces the 7 different types of water is the Levelux SD501. And as you can see here, the Levelux SD501 is a white unit, and it produces the 7 different types of water by just simply pressing one of the buttons here. Now here we have the Levelux SD501 Platinum. This is the new version that's just come in here to the European market, and it speaks 5 different languages. So just by simply pressing one of these buttons here, by pressing this button here, you produce the 2.5 acid water, which is very good for skin conditions, psoriasis, eczema, acne, loads of different health benefits in regards to this water. A lot of businesses and a lot of homes now are turning their homes and businesses into an eco-friendly homes and eco-friendly businesses just by using this water here. And as you go up along the buttons here, the next one is the beauty water. This is a water, not being vain, but I really like this water because it's just amazing what it does for the skin. I spray this regularly every day all over my skin and all over my hair because I didn't have good skin because of all the medication that I was used to be consuming. And since I've started drinking the water and most importantly spraying the beauty water on externally all over the skin, it's amazing the difference people and what I've noticed with myself and my own skin and with people who I see it instantly. You'd see it within a day, 2 days. I've seen people's skin just start to radiate. It's beautiful for anyone who's into their appearances and looks. For the next button is the 7.0 pH water. That's good for taking baby formula. Up along here is the Kangen water 8.5. For anyone here who's viewing this, I'd encourage you to start off in the 8.5 pH Kangen water first. And simply by pressing this button here,
Kangen water 8.5.
That's the 8.5 pH water. That's what I'd encourage anybody starting off maybe for the first few days is the 8.5 pH Kangen water, so your body can adjust and get used to this water because it's very good detoxing properties. And as you go up along the line,
Kangen water 9.0.
Kangen water 9.0, so that's the next level you'd want to, that'd be the goal, is to go up the levels from 8.5 to 9 to the next level,
Kangen water 9.5.
which is Kangen water 9.5. That's the goal most people look to achieve. I remember when I purchased this technology, I came back and I thought I'll go on the 9.5 on day one. And it was very interesting when I started drinking the 9.5, I could literally feel my belly starting to rumble. And thankfully I knew that was a detox. and I realised, wow, this water really does work, because I could feel it starting to flush a lot of the gunk and junk which was around and inside my body. But what I done then was I came back to the 8.5 and I built myself up slowly over the next couple of weeks. That's what I done personally, because I could feel the water going up to my skull from when I fractured my skull. I could feel it actually starting to move around my brain. So I'd encourage you to start off 8.5, 9 and then 9.5. And you know, just experience the water is the best advice I can give to you here. And anyone here who is skeptical, and when you do go on the internet like I done, you know, you're going to see stuff on the internet that will show you, oh, I can buy a machine for half the price, and well, it's the same machine as the Kangen SD501. Just ask yourself this question. Why is it that when I Google Kangen water, or when I look into Kangen water online, all these other companies pop up first? And what happens is, without getting into the whole science of how this works, just do your research, do your due diligence more importantly, and look at the engine. It's the engine which is the most important aspect to this technology. Please do your own research on that, like I did for 8 months. You don't have to take 8 months. We do have information to share with you and show you exactly how this is a far superior technology to anything that's out there in the marketplace, and why it's the gold standard within this industry. So my best advice on a final note is, you know, whoever you know has this technology, ask them to maybe, if you're still skeptical, to go on the 7-day solution, this is why we set up the Kangen house here in Limerick. Our vision was very simple. We wanted people to experience the water for 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 days, and just let them experience the cooking, the cleaning, the beauty water, and then to drink the water. Because if you're like me and you've had any illnesses or any sicknesses, or have gone through any pain in your life, it took me 3, 4 months before I started to really notice, you know, how I felt good in the first 2 or 3 days. But if you really want to get the benefits from this unit, you need to be drinking this fresh from the machine. That is so important, because once you start drinking this water fresh from the machine, it's a totally different experience. If anybody at the moment is giving you the water, second-hand water, yes, you get results, but the best results are experienced when this is coming straight fresh from the machine. From Declan Door here in the Kangen house in Limerick, I'd just like to say thank you so much for taking the time here to view this, and I hope you've got some education from me sharing with you here the knowledge I've learned over the last 3 years and recovering my own health. And I'm just so grateful to Kangen water, and my family I know are so grateful to this water. And my best advice for you here is to get back in contact with the person who's shared this with you, and simply go on the 7-day solution trial. Or like I did, I didn't have any trial of the water. I just basically knew this was a good investment for me, and it was a good investment for my family. Thank you very much again, and I hope to see you at one of our upcoming live events.